fans. Hey, thanks for tuning in. I'm in the lovely city of Portland today doing a around town gentleman's ride. We're checking out some Castelli kit. We'll tell you a little bit more about it. Stay tuned. PEZ fans, thanks for tuning in. I am wearing Castelli's new for 2018 fall 2019 RoS Jacket. Now, you've seen my video of the RoS jersey review. If you haven't, the link's down there somewhere. You can check it out. But right now, we've gone for a little bit protection that's a little bit better for winter, slightly upgraded version, a couple of modifications. And again, this jacket is packed with features, so much so that I figured it was definitely worth making a little video to tell you about. This one for the winter, really. It's a slightly heavier material. You'll find it on the sleeves, on the front, and on the back. Areas which are covered with Gore windstopper fabric. In fact, it says so. Let's right there. The Gore windstopper, kind of an industry standard in terms of keeping the wind out. It actually really blocks the wind out, keeps you warm inside. But in doing so, it also stops a lot of the, breathability is affected a little bit by this, which you'll find if you're exerting yourself. So what Castelli's done to keep things breathing, there's got these essentially vented seams which are not covered by the Gore windstopper, which allows for pretty good ventilation underneath the arms, through the side body of the jacket. But again, we're riding in the winter, you're riding in cold climates, you want to stay warm is the whole purpose of this thing. Inside, one of my favorite features of the RoS jacket and the jersey is that the front of it includes what almost works like an inner vest, but it's actually a vest like, it's a fleecy material that helps trap a layer of air inside the jacket, creates a small microclimate inside the garment, which keeps you warmer. It's like layering up, except you've just got one garment on. Instead of having to put 2 pieces on or even more, you've got this one garment. One cool thing about the RoS jersey and jacket is that if you're climbing, you start getting overheated, you're getting too hot, you can simply unzip the jacket. You still got protection over your chest, so you're not getting, you're hot, you're venting out, you're letting the heat escape, but you're not getting too cold. Another option, undo the inside if you want, and just run with the outside. So you've got a bunch of multiple options built into one garment. Check out this collar. Nice high collar. Goes all the way up. You've got this articulated little flap at the back. Keeps your head nice and warm. If your neck's not warm, the rest of you is not warm. At least that's what I have found. This flap on the front also blocks wind and moisture from getting in as well. So if you're riding in inclement conditions, which is nice. I asked Kelly Castelli about this on previous things, and I don't know if they're listening to me or not, but I love the fact that they finally added a little small zippered pocket to the front. Makes it great for putting your credit card in, a little bit of coffee money, your keys, whatever. It's not, this pocket maybe not big enough to put your iPhone in, but that's okay, because when you turn around, oh, what do we have? Lots of pockets in the back. Nice 3 deep ones. Lots of room for a couple things like the gloves. This jacket is going to cost you $349 US. It's available at Castelli's website, at fine retailers near you. Comes in a number of cool colors. This one I'm wearing is called Midnight Blue. Looks kind of like a nice gray blue. Oh, for visibility, they've got these, and also for keeping the rain and the moisture out of the jacket, they've done some strategic taping of the seams on the jacket, including these cool epaulette style reflective patches on the shoulders. The cuffs feature this really neat little detailing of a stretchable, snug-fitting material that basically seals right around your wrists so that you don't have air blowing inside and going up the sleeves where the end of the jacket may or may not meet your gloves. So there's some smart thinking here, which is always nice. Cold wrists are always annoying when you're riding. There. This is a good jacket. I like this jacket. One of the most important parts of rain gear for me has been keeping my feet dry over the years. I hate getting wet feet. My feet get wet, they get cold. My ride is kind of ruined. I can't wait to get home after that. So I'm pretty happy to see some new gear that's arriving, especially from, well, not unexpectedly, from a brand like Castelli, because they put a lot of thought, a lot of effort into thinking up gear that makes sense and really works in a lot of different conditions. These RoS shoe covers, I think they fit the bill. So there's some really neat features I want to show you about these things. First of all, look how fitted they are, how snug they are. They fit really nicely around the foot, around the shoe, and around my ankle. They're articulated. They've been designed and cut just like a tailor fine Italian tailor would cut a suit to fit your body, to fit around the nooks and crannies, the curves and the curvature of, in this case, your foot and your ankle. They are made of a rain repellent rubberized kind of material. It's right here. You can see the water just beating up and falling right off of these shoes, or these shoe covers. So the water is not going through this. The zipper is placed in an easy to reach spot. Instead of being right at the very back, you've got it just slightly on the inside here. But when you bring this down, it's got a nice little flap that goes up the inside that helps seal in the warmth. The zipper itself is a water repellent zipper from YKK. So you can see how water is having a real hard time getting through this zipper. Around the back of the shoe, some really smart features. The heel cup has got a bunch of extra material built in here, so it's not going to tear and come off like some other brands do. This tab makes it very easy for pulling the shoe cover on. I just put these on, and it works really well. Water-resistant fabric all around. This is almost, again, feels like a little bit of rubberiness to it, so it's going to be really good for getting water, keeping the water away from you. Coverage around the bottom, so we've got, you know, a small opening for your rear cleat, pretty snug opening for the front cleat. I think this is one thing that's really important for a good shoe cover. The shoe covers cost about 89 bucks. You can find them at Castelli's website. PEZ fans. I'm wearing these fantastic gloves, actually. They're part of the RoS line of their cold weather riding gear. RoS, of course, stands for rain or shine. You can wear them in both conditions. This glove is called the Spettacollo glove. If you're Italian, you know what it means. If you're not, it means spectacular. And I'll tell you what, I think they're kind of getting pretty close. It's not a bad name for this glove because these gloves are actually packed with features. For starters, let's say they're basically almost completely windproof. They're very water resistant. I wouldn't say they're waterproof, but the material is all water resistant all across the back. Getting these things on and off is kind of cool, whereas a lot of gloves will bind around your wrist. Castelli has put a really cool waterproof, YKK waterproof zipper on here. It's got a nice backing behind it to keep the wind out. That opens up right off your wrist. Then getting these things off, you can either just pull them right off your finger like that, or grab this handy little tab and off it comes. Pulling it back on inside, they've designed a pretty handy little pull tab here, so you can just pull it right onto your wrist like that, boom. And we go to the back to the front, back, zip it on into place, and we're set to ride. On the inside of the gloves, more features. Silicone gripper material where you need it on important fingers across the palm of your hand, so your hands don't slip around on the bars. This material all in here is also it's like a grippy synthetic of some kind, but it adds warmth. We've got a lot of warmth in these gloves. On the inside of these gloves is this really nice and warm Primaloft. It's like a super soft fleece liner. It goes all the way down into the fingers. Hands, I've noticed on this ride today, are very warm. We've been riding in around 52 degrees Fahrenheit. It's probably like 9 or 10 degrees. These are actually probably a little warm for a day like this, but I can see these probably going into some pretty cool temperatures and being a pretty handy glove. Nice gloves. Bam! PEZ fans. Thanks for dropping in. Okay, continuing a review of some of Castelli's cool weather riding gear for 2018. Underneath all of this is their Nanoflex Pro 2 Bibtight. Pretty cool Bibtight. We're going to start at the bottom and work our way up on this thing. One thing that you might notice is the reflective material around the inside of the shins. That's there for a reason. It actually is waterproof material that basically is put in here to reduce the splash or protect you from the splash that's coming up off your front wheel when you're riding. It's really kind of an ingenious. This stuff is also some of that super shiny reflective material, so when car lights or other light sources hit it, boom, it lights right up, and as your legs are moving, it actually makes for a pretty sensible way to attract some attention and visibility to you when you're riding out there in the dark on gray, rainy days, or even at night. The zipper, easy to reach, in the spot that you can grab, opens up, and you can either run these tights on the inside or outside of your booties, like the RoS rain or shoe cover, which I've got here. If it's really raining hard, if you're smart, you're going to run the Bibtight down the outside of your shoe, keeps the water from getting inside your shoe cover, it helps you keep a little bit drier. The material that we're talking about here is Castelli's kind of famous Nanoflex material, which It's a fleece lined material, but it's covered with a special coating that Castelli came up with that basically makes the water bead up and roll off of this thing. I've used this thing in a lot of conditions. These are actually, they're not a rainproof type, but they do a really good job of keeping the water off you if you're in a misty conditions or even light rain. So it's actually nice tight to wear in a lot of conditions. Right. Shoulder straps. These are nice. Laser cut, stretchy, a little bit stretchy. They're very comfortable. They don't gutter. They're nice and wide across the shoulders. Good shoulder strap. Around the back, lots of mesh. So you've got lots of ventilation. You don't want to overheat because of your Bibtights, at least not these ones. There are other items for that. Inside, I'm not going to show you this. You're going to have to take my word for it. It's the Progetto 2 seat pad. It's one of one of Castelli's long-standing pads. I've used it in PEZ kit for years. It's a nice pad, I can assure you of that. These things are going to run you about 199 bucks. They're available at Castelli's website and fine retailers in your area. Nice Bibtight. I like these. One thing that Castelli is doing as a brand that makes their own kit is they're not just building jerseys and bib shorts and gloves and the simple stuff. They're actually covering you from head to toe. So starting at the top, what I'm wearing right now is part of the new cap in their line. It's called the RoS cycling cap, part of the Rain or Shine line of clothing they've done, which is fantastic stuff to wear, when it's raining or shining, in all conditions actually. This is a pretty cool cap. So on the outside, it's designed to keep out the wind, keep out a bit of moisture. It's not waterproof, but it is water repellent. Really neat feature about this cap is you can take this front flap and it comes right back, and you've got a nice big mesh part of material just above your forehead that's just letting lots of air in. So if you're too hot, you can just run it like this. All of a sudden you're getting back to staying nice and cool. Kind of like running a built-in visor underneath your helmet. It keeps the whatever you want to keep out of your face, sun, sand, grit, stuff coming up the guy's tire in front of you. But it's kind of cool. And then boom, if you're getting too cold, you flip it back down and you're back in business. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. You're watching it now.